Alright, in today's video we're going to look at ordering or comparing decimals. Sometimes it can get confusing when you're looking at decimals to tell which numbers are larger versus which ones are smaller. So make sure you put today's date in the upper right hand corner of your notes. Alright, so the best way to order decimals is you want to line up the numbers vertically. Essentially just going to stack them on top of each other and then compare the values and the place values. So you want to line up the numbers vertically. If there's no decimal point, so if there's a missing decimal point, if it's not written, place at the end of the number. So for example, like if you had the number 25, you'd put the decimal point after the 5. And then if after numbers after decimal places, you can add zeros. To make columns that match up. So this will make sense when we start looking at a problem. So for example, let's take a quick example. Which is larger? So we're going to have 0.016 or 0 and 16 thousandths, or 0.00899. So this is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths. So is 0 and 16 thousandths or 0 and 899 hundred thousandths, which one is larger? So if we line them up on top of each other, 0.016 and 0.00899. I don't need to add a decimal place because the decimal place is already in the problem, but to have these numbers line up, I'm going to have to add some zeros at the end of this number. And that's okay because it doesn't change the value of this, but now I can see clearly when I'm comparing which number is larger. It's going to be the 0.016 or the 0 and 16 thousandths. So what you're doing is you're comparing place value to place value. So 0 is the same as 0, so that's the same. But right away here, 1 is bigger than 0. So 1 in this place value is more than this place value. So this number is larger for that reason. You could also look at it at the end here. This number is 1600 and this number is 899. Because of the 0, that changes the value of this number. All right, let's say you have a problem like this, where you have to arrange from smallest to largest. And let's say I gave you the following numbers: 3.018 or 3 and 18 thousandths, 3 and 18 hundredths, 3 and 1/10, 3 and 8 hundredths, 0.318 or 318 thousandths. So we want to follow the same strategy where we line these numbers all up on top of each other vertically. And then to make the columns match up, I'm going to add zeros at the end of the numbers. So now all these numbers are in matching positions. So if we're going from smallest to largest, we want to look first at the whole number place value, the ones place value. So the smallest number here is 0. So right away I can tell this is my smallest number. Okay, so I can cross that one out. Now I look at the next column. The ones are larger than the zeros, so these are these are the bigger numbers, these are the smaller numbers. So I have 3.018 and 3.080. So looking at the next column, for the smallest number, I have 1 or 8. This one is smaller, so the next one would be 3.018 because the 1 is smaller than the 8 in this place value. And then I know the next number here is going to be 3.8, which is a number from the list. So we've knocked out this one, we've knocked out this one, and we've knocked out this one for smallest to largest. So now comparing again, I go look at the place values. The 1s and the 3s are the same, so now I look at the next place value. 8 is bigger than 0, so the smaller one here is 3.1, and then 3.18. So the best way to do this is to put the numbers in order vertically, line them up, and then add zeros if you need to add zeros, and then figure out which numbers are smallest, then going to the biggest.